Where is social going now in 2018 and beyond? Stay tuned, I'm going to give you my thoughts based on some recent developments within social media. Hey, it's Philip here, the Curly Marketer, and today, Curly Marketer Tip, I really just want to discuss, I suppose, my own views on where social media is going for this next year and beyond. You know, if we take a look back, there's been quite a number of developments if we look at the social media platforms. You know, we've gone through, say, Facebook, you know, where over the last couple of years organic reach has been going down. You know, businesses are finding that people just aren't interacting with their content. They've had to pay for advertising to try and get any sort of engagement. And then we had the big announcement from Facebook, which was dubbed almost Facebook Apocalypse, where they were going to prioritize content shown by family and friends, etc., etc. You know, then, you know, back in February, and the deadline now where these particular rules are going to become live is literally in 2 days' time, March 23rd, was Twitter's announcement, you know, to combat, you know, spam, bots, etc., whereby if you had multiple Twitter profiles, you can't, from the 23rd, tweet the exact same or a very similar tweet right across all of your multiple Twitter profiles. And the same kind of issue would arise if you have all your blog posts on a schedule, so that if you have, say, blog posts that are going out and then they are essentially sent out as new tweets a few weeks later, you no longer can do that. I do believe, and this is my own personal view, I think that, you know, from what we have seen with both the incredible amount of content that is created and shared on social media, you know, the fact that we now have channels such as direct mail, which is still very close to my heart because it was one of the core disciplines that I learnt, are now making a return due to the very personal and interactive and physical nature of direct mail. It is making a comeback in a digital kind of in this digital world. I think the big thing is that, you know, I think there is a sense, as Mark Schaefer said, there is this kind of content shock now really coming in, and people, customers and our audiences are just taking a step back because they're bombarded by so much content. And I think as social media marketers ourselves, we have fallen into a trap over the last, I suppose, 2 to 3 years, where it was very much about quantity, you know, kind of, you know, we had to have 10, 20, 50 tweets going out every half an hour on Twitter. We needed so many posts, we needed so many videos kind of to be created, we needed to create so many blog posts, etc. And I suppose I kind of believe that we lost our way in the whole area of audience engagement and trying to create real meaningful relationships and dialogue with our communities. You know, I think as social media marketers, it is our job and our role and our duty, both for our personal brands and for our clients, to ensure that the content we are putting out in either our own name or their name has to be, you know, highly relevant, highly targeted, it has to be valuable, it has to be useful. But then it also, you need to then, on behalf of your client or your own personal brand, you have to try and generate that sense of relationship and engagement and a sense of community with your audience. And I think I suppose I can see definitely the days of where, you know, people are bulk loading, you know, just a whole lot of tweets that have been created just for the sake of creating content. And scheduling and forgetting about it. I think those days are over. And, you know, with Twitter's new rules, I think this is only the beginning of it. You know, I do think that eventually things like auto direct messaging kind of services on Twitter will be totally stopped, because I think they're one of the most, you know, awful things that we have in social media, you know, that people just can't literally even just create a personal thank you tweet for following, that this is automated, generated kind of thing. And I do think this is the way social is going. I think the channels are going back, they're reverting back to why I believe they were created in the first place, was to create platforms where people could come together in an online social medium and engage, connect, create relationships, share stories, etc., etc. And we've gone so far away from that, you know, and I think that is now the way forward. And I certainly, from my own personal profile, you know, as someone who, used to do bulk schedule of tweeting and using automated tools, I've got rid of them all. And I would suggest to you to try it for yourself, because I now try and create my tweets or my videos or create content that, unless I have read it from start to finish, I won't post it. And that might mean that instead of maybe where I might have been tweeting 20 times a day, I might only get to tweet maybe twice a day. I might only get to maybe do one Facebook, every couple of days, and a LinkedIn video maybe once or twice a week. But I'm happy with that, because my engagement levels on all of that content, would you believe, has gone right up. And I think the reason for that is, one is because I've taken the time to really kind of craft a piece of content that I feel is relevant to my target audience and that they're going to enjoy. And it also allows me to then do the proper engagement, replies, follow-ups with everyone that interacts with that piece of content. And I think that is the key. And I think that's the big learning from all of these changes that we're seeing. We've had Facebook with their algorithm changes. Twitter have done this. On LinkedIn, there's algorithm changes. And, a friend and a good mentor in relation to LinkedIn, John Asperian, who I would advise you check out for LinkedIn tips. He gave me a very good tip about when curating content and sharing it on LinkedIn, where when you put the link to this maybe very good article and it shows you the preview image, LinkedIn don't really like that, because you're taking them away from their platform. We saw changes from YouTube where they put in new monetization rules. So there is this trend now with social media, and don't be surprised if more and more changes come where the channels want you to be engaged and relevant rather than just being automatic and like a robot. And I think that's the critical thing. Someone kind of asked me before, how do you make a piece of content go viral? And if you check on my LinkedIn profile here, I have written a publisher post called "Have We Lost the Art of Conversation?" And this was a piece that I did not plan to schedule. It was a piece that I just decided to write after, I suppose, and not so much an incident, but just an experience that I had where I decided to put my phone down and actually listen to my little girl sing a song. And the whole preface about the article was, if I hadn't taken my head out of my phone, I would have missed that marvelous, experience. And I suppose that article, I thought nothing of it. I posted up on LinkedIn, and when I woke up the following morning, my phone had literally blown up. I think it had something like 40,000 views and 3,000 shares and multiple comments, because I had touched on a nerve point that everybody was thinking but no one was talking about. And I think that's where social is going. It's trying to generate that kind of level of conversation about something that is very, very dear to people's hearts, or that they're passionate about, or it provides something that is so relevant and useful that people want to shout about it. And you can't do that if you're so focused on trying to provide quantity over quality. So that's my opinion. Certainly you may completely disagree with me and say, Phil, you're off the wall and you're crazy, and we're going to continue to send loads and loads of content. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I feel works. I feel take the time to craft it and make the content as very best as you can, and then engage with the community after it. As always, I'm on Twitter at @PTwyford, so do come over and follow me there. Do connect with me on LinkedIn, and my website is thecurlymarketer.com. And I will be back to you again soon with another Curly Marketer tip. Take care.